is Senator Dr. Femi Ogunronmu, representing Pa Reuben Fasoranti. Please take a listen to this again. We're just listening to some of the things that were discussed at the Southwest Summit that was held earlier today. Please listen to this.
Alákòóso ẹgbẹ́ Afenifere, bàbá wa, our esteemed leader, wọn ò sí níbí ṣùgbọ́n wọ́n rán aṣojú wá, aṣojú tó péye, aṣojú tó lámìláaka, wọ́n rán wọn wá, ìpè kí wọ́n wá bá wa sọ̀rọ̀ lénìí. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, it's my singular honor to welcome Chief Reuben Fasoranti. Fasoranti is representative. Fasoranti. Hello. Fasoranti. Go on. His representative, the leader of Afenifere, in the person of Senator Dr. Femi Ogunronmu. Ẹ bá pàtẹ́wọ́ fún bàbá wa o.
Bí bàbá ṣe ń bọ̀, a fi tó wa létí pé bí a ṣe ń gbóríyìn fún Afẹ́nifẹ́re, bẹ́ẹ̀ náà la máa gbóríyìn fún Dawn Commission tí wọ́n jẹ́ kí ó ṣeé ṣe ìpàdé wa lónìí. A dúpẹ́ lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí i. Dawn Commission, thank you very much.
Your Excellencies, the executive governors of our beloved Western states, all the royal fathers present, honorable ministers and leaders of our great nation, eminent sons and daughters of Odùduwà. I am Senator Dr. Femi Ogunronmu, a former Secretary General of Afenifere and one of its leaders. It is my pleasure to deliver on his behalf the address of Chief Reuben Fasoranti, CFR, leader of Afenifere worldwide and the Aṣíwájú of Yoruba. The title of the address is "The Time to Renew Commitment to Pan-Yoruba Solidarity." The time to renew commitment to Pan-Yoruba solidarity. And it reads thus: I greet you in the spirit of our progenitor, Odùduwà, in the wisdom of our sage, Chief Femi Awolowo, and in the hope of generations yet to come. Today, at 99 plus years of age, I stand before you, not in body, but in spirit, carried by the voice of my beloved brother, Senator Dr. Femi Ogunronmu. My physical frame may be weakened by the weight of nearly a century, but my commitment to our people burns as fiercely as it did when I was a young man, dreaming of a united, prosperous, and progressive Yoruba nation on our dear country, Nigeria. I have lived through the colonial era, witnessed Nigeria's independence, survived a civil war, endured military dictatorships, and celebrated democracy's return. Through it all, one truth has remained constant. The Yoruba nation is only as strong as its unity. The same is true of Nigeria. For over 7 decades, I have dedicated my life to the cause of progressive and welfarist political ideologies, not as a politician seeking office, not as a merchant seeking profit, but as a servant committed to the welfare and advancement of our people. I have seen our greatest triumph and our deepest disappointments. I have celebrated our unity and regretted our divisions. Our ancestors understood something profound, captured in the wisdom they passed down to us. Àgbájọ ọwọ́ la fi ń sọ̀yà. Àjèjì ọwọ́ kan kò gbẹ́rù dórí. This is not merely an adage. It is a blueprint for our survival and prosperity. Look around this hall today. We have assembled governors from 6 states, traditional rulers whose crowns carry the weight of history, ministers wielding federal power, legislators crafting our laws, entrepreneurs building our economy, farmers feeding our people, and youth carrying our future. This gathering itself is proof that when we come together, we are formidable. But I must speak plainly as an elder who has earned the right to speak the truth. Party politics must never again divide or weaken Yoruba solidarity. I have watched with deep concern as the cancer of partisan politics has eaten into the fabric of our unity. I have seen brothers refuse to greet each other because one wears the badge of one party and another serves under a different banner. I have witnessed development projects stalled, not because they lack merit, but because they were initiated by the rival political party. I have observed leaders who should be collaborating for the good of our people, locked in needless combat over party supremacy. This must end today, here and now. Development has no party. Progress knows no partisan affiliation. The welfare of our people is not a matter for political point scoring. The welfare of our people must be and remains the fulcrum and central theme of our political calculations. Let me remind you of something we seem to have forgotten in recent times. Our political DNA is welfarist. Progressivism is not a borrowed ideology. It is our inheritance. Long before these modern political parties were formed, long before the labels of APC, PDP, LP, or any other acronym, there was a Yoruba political philosophy built on a simple but profound principle. Government exists to serve the welfare of the people. This is not foreign ideology. This is not imported politics. This is just who we are. Our laudable programs during the period of Western Nigeria was not action group politics. It was Yoruba welfarist politics. The belief that the government's primary obligation is to lift the people, to create opportunities, to remove barriers, and to ensure that every citizen, regardless of their circumstances of birth, has a fair chance at a good life. This is our true ideology. This is what must guide every leader who governs any part of Yorubaland. Today, I call for a return to our roots. I call on every leader in this hall, governor, minister, legislator, traditional ruler, to recommit to the welfarist ideology that defines Yoruba political heritage. Namely, 1, every child must have access to quality education. Not some children, not children of the privileged, every child. 2, every citizen must have access to health care. Not as charity, not as a privilege, but as a right. 3, every young person must have a pathway to dignified employment or entrepreneurship, not through political connections, but through skills, opportunity, and merit. 4, every community must have basic infrastructure, roads, water, electricity, not as political favors, but as fundamental entitlements of citizenship. And 5, every farmer, trader, artisan, and entrepreneur must have access to the support needed to thrive and contribute to our collective prosperity. This must not be left to the manifesto of any political party. It must be the covenant of the Yoruba political tradition that recognizes that a society that does not care for the welfare of its people has failed, regardless of its GDP, regardless of its infrastructure, regardless of its global standing. I say to our ministers, at the federal level, you must be fierce advocates for policies and programs that advance the welfare of our people. Whether it is fiscal policy, agricultural policy, educational policy, or healthcare policy, the question must always be, how does this improve the lives of the masses? I say to all political leaders, stop competing over party labels. Start competing over who can better deliver the welfarist mandate. Let your contest be who has built more schools, who has created more jobs, who has provided better health care, who has lifted more people out of poverty. This is the competition that honors our tradition and the politics that serves our people. I speak to you today carrying the weight of Afenifere's history and the burden of its sacred mission. We were formed and have endured as the conscience of the progressive politics that seeks freedom for all and life more abundant. We are advocates for justice, defenders of our people's interests, and guardians of the vision bequeathed to us by Chief Femi Awolowo. We have not yet achieved this vision, but gathering like this summit gave me hope that we are finally learning the lessons that decades of division have taught us. To all our governors, your people elected you to improve their lives. Collaborate for regional development, even if you have to do that across party lines. When Osun innovates successfully, let Oyo adopt and adapt. When Lagos leads, let others follow. When Ondo discovers a solution, let it become Southwest solution. To our ministers from the Southwest, you sit at the table where national decisions are made. Never forget that you are there, not just as party members or cabinet officials, but as representatives of a people with a proud history and high expectations. Advocate fiercely for Southwest interests. Ensure that federal projects and resources reach our region equitably. Work collaboratively with state governments regardless of their party affiliations. To our youth, for long, you have been told that you are the leaders of tomorrow. No, you are not tomorrow's leaders. You are today's stakeholders. But to become a worthy stakeholder, you must do this respectfully and as an Omoluabi. I urge you to reject the politics of bitterness and division that my generation allowed to fester. Build bridges where we built walls. Create alliances where we created antagonism. Your generation has the tools, technology, education, global connections to achieve what we could only dream about. Use them wisely and use them in the service of the welfarist condition that is your inheritance. What excites me most about this summit is its structure. For the first time, we are creating a systematic platform where citizens can directly engage with the government, where evidence must be presented, where commitments must be made, and where follow-through will be expected. This is democracy at its finest, the democracy of continuous engagement, mutual accountability, and collaborative problem solving. I ask that we sustain it in the interest of our region within the larger Nigerian context. I urge all citizens to shun bitter politics, rumor mongering, and deliberate misinformation. Instead, we must embrace constructive dialogue with the government through a platform like this. As I approach my centenary, I am acutely aware that my time on this earth grows short. But I am not afraid, because I see in this gathering the seeds of the unity and progress I have fought for all my life. I therefore use this opportunity to invite you to my centenary anniversary next year, where we will celebrate the growing list of the impressive dividends of democracy of the present federal administration, ably led by our own son, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR. My final charge to all Yoruba sons and daughters is simple. Place our people's interest above party interest. Place development above partisan politics. Place the welfarist mandate above political competition. Place unity above division. Remember that the Oyo Empire thrived not because everyone thought alike, but because everyone worked together towards shared prosperity. Let this summit mark the beginning of a new era, an era where the Yoruba nation speaks with one voice on matters of development, where our leaders collaborate across party lines for the good of our people, and where partisan politics stops at the doorstep of regional progress. Go forth from here, united in purpose, Return to your states, your offices, your communities, and your constituencies with a renewed commitment to Pan-Yoruba solidarity and to the welfarist tradition that defines us. May Olodumare guide our steps. May the spirits of our ancestors inspire our actions. And may future generations judge us kindly for what we do here today. Thank you, and may your journey be prosperous. Chief Reuben Fasoranti, CFR, leader of Afenifere worldwide, and the Aṣíwájú of Yoruba.
Àyànfẹ́ k'Olúwa jẹ́ kó dàgbà kó dàgbà o.
Afenifere, Baba Fasoranti. Ah, wow, that was a lot. That was a lot. Fantastic, fantastic speech. He spoke to the leaders, political leaders, and also to the people, especially, the younger ones, all of us, And I like the fact that I also said that, it's not about leaders of tomorrow. It's quite crazy when you're in your 30s and 40s and 50s, you're still hearing about a tomorrow where you're going to be a leader. It's time to do something now. And one way to do it is to get involved in decision-making process. As far as the Southwest is concerned, there is a link that you find in the Telegram channel right now, and I would advise that you check it out. The Telegram channel itself is called Redomi Global. Redomi Global. There is something there for citizen input. So Southwest Citizen Government Engagement Summit. There's a citizen input form. Just click on the link that you find on the Telegram channel and you'll be able to fill in your details and whatever you think the federal government or the state government should be working on. So please check it out. That's also our own way of participating in the development of our space. And there's something I always say is good when you hear elders, say these things. So it's not just you saying it, it's also that in a way, it has a way of reinforcing what message you're trying to pass across. The idea basically is that Yoruba is a nation. Yoruba is a nation. It's not going to become a nation. There are those who are in the comment section right now on YouTube who are just, spamming the whole place. Hey, it is a nation. Now, it is, not it will be. If you're waiting for a Yoruba nation, you will not know what to do when it comes. If you know you have a Yoruba nation, then you can make it sovereign at some point, or at least make it develop, which is the most important thing. Not agitation, development. Development. It's a nation. What are you going to do with what it is right now? That's what he's trying to get us to understand. So please, I see in the comment section, I'll try to remove one or two things you've typed. You keep typing it. I hope you really calm down. This is not a platform for agitators. It's a platform for builders, right? It's a platform for citizens who want to make things better, not just about, go agree or we no go agree. Calm down. So, there's a lot to unpack in this. I don't even know where to begin. There's a lot to unpack. I like the fact that we shouldn't be partisan as far as development is concerned in our region. It's not about PDP versus APC, and I say it a lot. There's this thing that we do, and I think I said this, there's a video we just posted earlier today, and I said in that video that the reason I don't want APC to lose in Lagos is because APC has created a structure. There is a plan. There's a blueprint. And every successive governor just gets in there and, do their bit and ensure that does their bit to ensure needs to be done next is done. I like the fact that they took their time to create a plan. They took a time to create a roadmap, and then every governor comes in, sees what needs to be done, does it, and then passes it on. And we've seen four. No, yes, we've seen four from president when he was governor Bola Tinubu to BRF, Babatunde Fashola to Ambode, and now to Sanwo-Olu. We don't want to break it. However, if APC doesn't have that same kind of thing in other states, it may not work. But hopefully they create something like that. But the point is this: as a Yoruba person, something is happening in your state. Your state is led by PDP. If we're looking for development of Western Nigeria, it's not a party issue. In their party, they can be discussing what they want to do, hopefully to help the place. But find a way to plug in as an individual as well as a citizen. And hopefully our governors, by the way, they I think, in my own estimation, that they're actually doing that already, right? Regardless of the fact that they belong to different parties, they are able to work together. There have been a number of meetings that have been conducted by, Dawn Commission, SWDC, with the governors of Western Nigeria. So I like what's happening, and I hope we learn from it. We don't become so partisan to the point where we are losing sight of growth and development. All right. So let's remember these things. Maybe I'll put it out so that at least we hear it again. It's something very powerful. And I like the fact that you emphasize the fact that Pa Reuben Fasoranti, that is the Afenifere, and it's the title they give to anybody to watch indeed Afenifere, Asiwaju Yoruba. And it's important. It's important because there are many counterfeit products in town. Okay, once you begin to work with counterfeit, you must. Anyway, the point is that we have an original in this Afenifere, and they have a passion for the Yoruba people and by extension Nigeria, but primarily this is our constituency, and we should make things work in our space. May God bless Yorubaland, and may God help us to build on the work of our forebears. Right. If you notice, he mentioned two names, apart from, of course, his name and Fasoranti, mentioned two names, Odùduwà and Awolowo. Those two are very important. And I think, personally, there's a document, let me recommend this. There's a document from, I think it was 1960, Development Agenda. Sorry, let me look for the name of the document. I'll just find it. One of these days we'll discuss it. But I think, in my own opinion, that anybody that's going to make anything of worth in the southwestern part of Nigeria, as a matter of fact, in this country, totally, but let's just stay at home first. If you want to do something worthwhile in Yoruba politics or in politics of the southwest, you will need to consult Awo's books and his plans. And this one is called Development Plan for Western Nigeria. It was published in 1961, I think. It was from 1962 to 1968. The plan they had for those 6 years. There's another one from 52 to 59. Those are the kind of people that we have whose shoes we have to fill. And even if you're not a politician right now, start thinking like one. Who knows? Or if you're not in government, you might just be a technocrat working there. Or you might, whatever you want to do, whether as a politician, a technocrat, an entrepreneur, a civil servant, whatever you do, let's remember these things, and may our land thrive, and may this nation work. And I said it, when I say nation, I am talking about Yoruba nation. I won't talk about Nigeria, I'll call it a country, because that's what it is. It's a country, and it will work in Jesus' name. Yoruba is a nation, and this nation will work. I won't mention anybody's name, but here's my point. Any Afenifere apart from Pa Fasoranti's Afenifere is a counterfeit. That's my own. Whichever Afenifere was not part of today's summit in Ondo State, that group is not Afenifere. So, because we don't want to wọ́n ní kan jẹ ìkúrúkọ tán láwọ̀ àwọn yẹn ṣàǹgbọ̀nwọ́ sínú ẹ̀ wọ́n ṣàǹgbọ̀nwọ́ ẹ̀sìn náà bọ́ ni nǹkan tó dẹ̀ ń ṣe kò ní nǹkan tó fẹ́ fi ṣe fún gbogbo wa. All right, so let's move away from the But we have an original Afenifere. Jokes aside, we have the original, and the person representing the original, Afenifere is the man who spoke earlier on behalf of Pa Fasoranti. So we're glad that the house is coming together. Every other faction, only man lórúkọ, ṣe mọ̀ pé ẹ máa rí Adidas, ẹ máa rí Adibas, ṣe ti rí Abibas, ẹ ti rí Abibari, ṣe ti rí Abibas rí. Anybody. Because I've seen, you go to the market, you see Abibas, you see you see Louis Vuitton, that the S is Z. You will see all kinds of things. That one Louis Vuitton called that way Louis Vuitton or Vuitton or Lubotoni, whatever. Sherry, orúkọ lè jọra, ó jọra ní iṣẹ́ nǹkan kan. Ó kàn jọra ni. Ó kàn kọ́kọ́ bí Louis Vuitton. Nítorí owó èèyàn tí pè láti ṣe Louis Vuitton. Orúkọ jọra ni. Orúkọ jọra ni. Ẹgbẹ́ tí Ọlọ́run bá ti ṣe, tí brand èèyàn bá ti ṣe dáadáa, àwọn kan wọ́n lè fẹ́ copy. Ó kàn jọra ni. Ó kàn jọra ni. Afẹ́nifẹ́re gangan àwọn náà ṣe summit ní Ondo State lónìí. Àfẹ́ Àbíbá o, but kó jẹ́ Àbíbá 2, kó má jẹ́ Àbíbás. Tó fẹ́ ra bàtà, ra Adidas. Tó wá Adidas ò bá ti tò, ra tí ó lórúkọ, má ra Àbíbás. Tó bá wá Afẹ́nifẹ́re eléyìí, kì í ṣe àwọn Afẹ́nifẹ́ whatever tó ń fẹ́. Ọlọ́run dẹ̀ ràn wọ́n lọ́wọ́ ibi tán wà. Àwọn kan tọ́ mi ill finger. tọ́ mi ill finger. Oh boy. You know how many tummy fingers we saw growing up? Jesus is Lord. Kí lè ń wọ̀ kiri yìí? Àbí tummy ill finger náà? But that was funny. So, adúpẹ́ Ọlọ́run pé nǹkan tí ń padà bọ̀ sípò. And I like the fact that Dawn Commission, which is the one, that represents Southwest Nigeria, is actually the organization that worked with Afenifere to organize the summit. If you know how happy I am today, just because Afenifere actually stepped up and did something. Young people can now join, right? We can now grow, and then you can belong to whatever political party you want to belong to, but you are all in there. It's a beautiful thing. And not working against Yoruba interests in the name of one Nigeria. It is well.